Just how much tax do you pay when taking an $80,000 72T plan? Hi, this is financial planner Sean Mullaney. Let's discuss. So recently I heard a commentator sort of casually say, if you take $80,000 from your traditional retirement account in early retirement, well, make that $60,000, right? Because that's pre-tax, so it's all taxable. And it's really going to net out to about $60,000. And I stepped back and I said, well, wait a minute. That doesn't sound right to me. And so what I did was I decided, all right, let me just compute using 2025 current numbers as of late May. What would a 72T of $80,000 for a married couple look like in terms of the tax burden? And I want you to mentally, in your own mind, before I reveal the effective tax rate, what the taxes look like, just, put it's $80,000 of income. What might the federal income taxes look like on that? Or is it $4,000, $8,000, $20,000, $15,000? What do you think, right? So I'm just going to put together their tax return. I'm going to assume that it's a married couple, Jeff and Ellen, 53 years old. They started an $80,000 72T plan in January, and that's the lion's share. They have a $40,000 interest or a savings account, 4.5% interest. They take the 72T payment in January. They spend it down evenly throughout the year, so they get some more interest income. I'm estimating about $3,600. And then we have a 72T payment that's taxable, $80,000. Our AGI is $83,600. We get a standard deduction of $30,000, and our taxable income is $53,600. So what does the federal income tax on this look like? And it is so interesting to me. We unhide that. It's about $6,000 in federal income tax, not $20,000 for a married couple. It is $6,000. And oh, by the way, the effective federal rate is 7.12%. And let's show our math here. How do we compute that tax? So I put together the three levels of tax that Jeff and Ellen are subject to doing the 72T payment plan. First one is the standard deduction, $30,000. That soaks up our interest income, the $3,600. Plus, it soaks up $26,400 of our $80,000 72T plan, right? 72T comes in for a lot of criticism. People leery about it. But for Jeff and Ellen, $26,400 is what I refer to as the hidden Roth IRA. They took $26,400 from a traditional IRA and they paid zero federal income tax on that. Right? That is so good. Maybe more Americans should be planning into that. Now, I'm not here to say plan into a 72T necessarily, but boy, that's pretty good. That's the hidden Roth IRA. You deduct it into a 401k. Even if it was at 22%, you're winning. 24%, 32%, boy, you're winning, right? Holy cow. And then the rest of the 72T payment does fill up their 10% bracket, 12% bracket. And so that's where they're getting this tax. I think mentally we tend to overestimate how much tax we're going to pay. And boy, that is interesting to me that in early retirement, if what we're doing is a 72T payment plan, we might be getting the benefit of the hidden Roth IRA, paying a 7.12% effective tax rate federally. That's really good. Now, there is one additional consideration, and that is premium tax credit. It's certainly possible that Jeff and Ellen, in my example, are on a ACA medical insurance plan. What I did was I was sort of like, okay, what's their AGI? And it turns out under this year's rules, they could get a premium tax credit. They are above the 400% of federal poverty level cliff as defined by 2024 federal poverty level. That means they would get a premium tax credit this year because there's no cliff. Next year, if they had the same income next year, the $80,000, which remember, 72T payment plan is a flat payment in most cases, not all, but most. I've talked about that on the channel before. Well, that's interesting to me. Look where they're at, 395% of federal poverty level. So that is out there. If you're going to do a 72T this year, I would wait until the tax bill is all sorted out. That is definitely a consideration. But it is interesting to me that next year, under today's rules, with an $80,000 72T payment plan, this couple could get a premium tax credit next year. So very interesting. Let me know what you think about early retirement, about traditional retirement accounts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please mash that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.